Hi, I'm Shin Byung-won in Cyber Hamong University of Foreign Students. Nowadays, many people are confused in how to write and what to put in their resume. So, I'd like to give you some tips in how to make a good resume. I wonder if you already have your job, but you can get many tips or informations to use in making your resume in the future. A fascinating point is this. These days, many corporations check resumes to join their company and to be one of their employees. To be hired in a company, writing a good resume is an essential factor in our society. Unemployment rates are extremely high nowadays, but this should not be a reason for us to give up. Have you ever tried making a good resume? It's easy to make resumes, but it's also important to know what will be the contents you will put in making a good resume. Don't worry, take advantage of this opportunity to know some ways in making resumes. I want to encourage you to think positively and be confident in making your resume. Now, I'm going to share some ways in how to make a good resume. The first thing to do is that maximize your strong point. You can express and elaborate your strong points in writing your resume. For example, your strong point is connected to your educational history. I learned that university graduates in South Korea earn money twice than high school graduates. Don't get me wrong, what I mentioned is not related with me. I read an article in the newspaper before about this issue. Let me pose you a question. Without university diploma, how many persons can apply for the company that they wish to work for? Can they enter or be hired in a large enterprise? Of course, we can get minor position without university diploma, but this can always be the reason not to get a major position in a company. Absolutely, educational history is a great deal of weight in entering large enterprise. Foreign language ability is one of the biggest strong points these days. It is clear that persons who can speak foreign language can be useful in many areas. That's why many people study abroad to develop their English or language skills. I heard many people in South Korea had an experience in English language program. It is better to have an English language program in our country, and also it is really important to consider these aspects. Next, it is all about your previous employment. Most of the previous job that we had can contribute to the companies that you wish to work for. You can write the things that you did in your previous company, but a short period of working history has a little impact on your resume. So, select the best tasks and things you did. My friend is an interviewer in an insurance company, and he mentioned that many licenses can be appealing to the company. Thousands of unemployment people have increased their competitive edge through externship focused certificate programs. If your educational history is not that impressive, try to get many licenses or certificates. I urge you to take notes and remember these tips that I mentioned. Secondly, explain why are you applying for that company. Don't forget the second sentence. This is what I want to tell you. Okay? Companies have many departments. You have to write the job position you want to apply for. Simultaneously, you also have to know the department you will work for. I'd like to recommend you this benchmarking. Before you write your resume, try to look for the person who works for the position you want to apply for. I think that he will welcome your questions in a healthy way. He can advise you many things that will be helpful for you. I will tell you my story. In 2010, I had a dream to teach English for students. So I went to see the EBS teacher who stayed in Seoul. She told me about quality aptitude test. I acquired that test trains for 10 years. After acquiring that certificate, it helps me to figure out what I have to do when I teach high school students. I was trying to memorize words, grammars, structure of sentences, listening questions, so I could teach many students in my academy. Returning to the point, you have to take notes in the department you wish to work for. Keep that in mind. Third, introduce your family information on your resume. Some people say that parents must set an example for their children to follow. Children were affected by their parents since childhood, so parents must do their best to create enjoyable and protective environments in which the children feel comfortable and safe. A good family environment helps the children to grow up in a proper manner. If you write your resume, spill the detail in your family information affects you the most. Lastly, choose one of your former picture. Your identification picture in your resume is the first part that interviewer will look in your resume. So it's a big plus if you are photogenic or you look good in your picture. So you must choose former photos that look confident and be able to do the task for the job. Try to use a little Photoshop program, but not much, because the interviewer will be disappointed if you look different in your picture than in person. These are only few tips in how to make a good resume, and there are a lot of more to consider in writing a good one. Just remember, whatever you write in your resume must be true, and you can back it up with an answer when interview days come. Good luck. But Before I finish make a speech, I'd like to focus on the 4 sentences. First, second, third, lastly. Keep that in mind. Thank you.